Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vickers. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah, I don't like niggas. What's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Missouri, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code MACE, CAM, or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Mase and Cam.
Killer was good, man.
Murder, what up, man? How you doing this morning?
Chilling, man. I'm on my phone. They saying we viral on TikTok. I didn't know people watch me on TikTok.
They love you on TikTok. You're very quotable. You and Cam both.
Killer, I might be a guru of the new millennium on TikTok. I'm a TikTok guru.
Yeah, nothing shocks me about myself, though. That's just usually what I do. If you're shocked by it, I dig it. Surprised it may be new to you coming back in the scene. That's just usually what I've been doing for the last 30 years. It doesn't really shock me.
Yeah, I wrote down you was going to say that answer. You put the camera on stop. I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. Nothing surprising. You know what, kid? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna get some shades and do your part on TikTok.
Oh, you should. You have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, nothing surprising me.
But you got a lot. I mean, I haven't been on there recently, but I know you got a lot of quotables last season on TikTok. A whole lot.
Yeah,
you. I'm talking. You. I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I knew. I told you. I knew you was going to say that.
I'm happy that you knew that, because that means you know me. That's good. I'm glad I'm working with somebody who knows what's going on with me.
Oh man!
But now we need to see more of y'all, especially you, Mase. Mase is starting, I think, TikTok now, right? Is that what it?
I'm starting.
Starting TikTok, and I love that because I love TikTok. So
yeah, you're always on TikTok.
I am. That's why I be doing the dances. I can't get y'all to do the dances with me, but it's okay. You guys do other things. That's fine.
That was good.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start with the Warriors. So the Warriors beat the Grizzlies 134-125. They were tied, but they surpassed them to take the 5th seed. Steph almost passed Clay's 3-point record for most in a game, but he had 12. So first, just in this game, Mase, how are you feeling about Steph's gameplay before we talk about the Warriors as a whole?
I mean, when you look at the way Steph's playing, it just seems like, And Killer, you can help me out with this after I state it. But like when you got this explosive game, or you got this game that's built off a fast twitch, but it seemed like that game can diminish as you get older. The way he's playing, I don't think as you get older, it changes. Like, because as you get older as basketball players, guys start making more jump shots. With him doing this at a younger age and this being his game for the longest, he's not banking on athleticism to be this good. He's banking on IQ and shot selection and follow through. And that's something he could be this dangerous for a very long time. That's scary. It seemed like if he win another championship, we're going to have to put him right there with Magic, and this is crazy because I didn't want to do that. I'm stuck in my times.
Okay, that's valid. At least you're honest. Cam, what do you think? How do you feel about Steph's gameplay? And then would you rank him up there like Mase is saying, even though Mase hasn't committed yet. But what are your thoughts?
Not sensational. And then at the end of the day, Steph Curry knows what time of year it is. This playoffs coming up. Not only that, I know we're going to talk about the game in a minute, but this game had big implications on seeding when the playoffs come up. But as far as Steph Curry's play, it's great. And I don't think it's anything new. Well, Steph Curry's 37 years old, so he's no spring chicken. But at the end of the day, when you have people who retire early that people still want it, let's think about this, right? Reggie Miller, he retired, but people were begging him to come back. He was still in shape. He still could shoot. And they were begging him to come back, the Indiana Pacers. Let's think about Ray Allen. Ray Allen took a while to decide to retire because people wanted to sign Ray Allen when he retired because he was still in shape and he still could shoot. When you can shoot, you'll always have a job. I don't think age matters, and of course, after a while, age is going to matter. But Steph looks like he takes care of his body, well nutrition, stays in shape, and he's a shooter. And the people I just named, we thought they were probably the best shooters until Steph Curry came along. But if you can shoot, you'll have a job in the NBA. And Steph just isn't a great shooter. He get to the basket, create shots. Not only that, he's in a great offense that Steve Kerr puts together. Draymond Green, to me, is more or less the point guard facilitating everything, and we'll call him a point forward. But Steph isn't even a traditional point guard. He'll bring the ball up and distribute as well, but he plays off the ball a lot. But this isn't really shocking because I kind of seen this before with Ray Allen and Reggie Miller. Now, to the level of Steph Curry, no, not at all, because Steph Curry's the greatest shooter of all time. But people who can shoot and stay in shape and play off the ball, catch and shoot, they'll always have a job. As far as putting them next to Magic, it's kind of close. Like May said, I'm kind of stuck in my times as well. When it comes to Magic Johnson, we got to think about this. Magic Johnson won a total of 5 championships in a 10-year span. Not only won 5 championships, I believe he went to 7 or 8 championships during that decade. Not only that, he got, we all know he contracted the HIV virus, which cut his career short. We don't know how far Magic Johnson would have got if he didn't contract the virus. So I'm not going to say that. And then not only that, you never see a 6'9" point guard at that particular time. I don't know a 6'9" point guard right now. So we're not just saying a person who can bring the ball up. Of course, we have people like the Joker and Giannis and so on and so forth who since the game elevated, can bring the ball up and everything. I'm talking about somebody who runs the offense, somebody who invented Showtime, fast breaking in LA with Pat Riley and the boys, James Worthy, Byron Scott, and everybody else, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. A lot of people are old enough to know it, so they're going to say, oh, Steph Curry this. But I give a lot of credit, and as well to Steph Curry, to people who revolutionized the game, which Magic Johnson did, and Steph Curry is doing that too. So if he does get one more, it's going to be a hard choice to make between those two for me. But right now, I still have Magic Johnson. I have Steph Curry.
That's valid. So now we have a lot of Grizzly talk. So in the game, Ja Morant appeared to make a gun gesture like this to the Warriors bench, which is sparking a lot of controversy. Do you guys have a problem with that gesture coming from Ja Morant? Mase, gonna let you go first. What do you think?
Say that again?
Yeah, Ja Morant was going like this with the guns to the Warriors bench at the end of the game, even though the Grizzlies lost. How do you feel about that?
All of that is just I don't want to see no guns with Ja Morant. No, I don't want to see no guns in Memphis, period. Just nothing that got to do with guns should come from Ja or Memphis. It's just poor timing. You know what I'm saying? You know how you do a joke and everybody look at you and nobody's laughing? Like this Ja, just no, just no, just stop. It's like a drunk uncle that tell you, hey, I'm about to take this shot. I'm playing around. They be like, bro, you done already ruined your life with the drinking. Just don't take the shot. This is what I'm looking at when I'm thinking about Ja Morant. Like, don't play no gun gestures. Just think about this. The guy you're guarding just had 52 and 10. What does this mean? Or do you think he's going to... I don't even want to say it. See, and then when we say it, they'd say, oh, the media be taking it too far. No, Ja, you got to really stop this, man. You gotta really stop this. You had a great game. You shot pretty well. More than pretty well. You shot 14 for 22. You had 36 points. But the guy you're guarding had 52 and 10. If he had 10 rebounds, killer, that's too much for a point guard to be getting in rebounds. So if a point guard is getting 10 rebounds, you're not boxing him out. Something is wrong. And to say he had 52 points, he's making a career high night on you. Don't do that, Ja. You're supposed to be dominating. He's supposed to be dominating Stephen Curry.
Okay.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Listen, first and foremost, we know and it hasn't really excelled to what we thought it would be because of how Draymond Green and Ja Morant a few years ago, like I said on previous shows, they were battling before Ja Morant got hurt in that Western Conference semifinals with Jordan Poole grabbed his knee or whatever the case may be. Ever since then, it's been chippy between Golden State and Memphis. The reason why this rivalry haven't excelled is because Ja Morant hasn't been available the last few seasons because of injuries and because of guns. Not these, the ones that's in the videos on Instagram, the real ones, and so on and so forth. You know, we had a thing the other day where we talked about how the NFL is saying no more guns, and I was making jokes how, you know, this can't kill you, this, that, and the third. And if it's part of the job where you work at that you can't do that, then you can't do that. Me and Mase luckily work for ourselves, so we're allowed to do this if we want to do this, knowing it wouldn't hurt anybody. And plus, we put the right message out. This is definitely not the right message from Ja Morant. To be totally honest with you, and I'm not pumping this, if he gets suspended, I would not be surprised. You know who you want to may have this conversation with, who did all this? Gilbert Arenas. Actually, where that got him, doing that after he got caught with real guns. He got suspended. Then the first game when he got suspended, the first game after coming back from suspension, he comes out the huddle like this. You know who else got suspended? Swaggy P. You know why Swaggy P got suspended for this? Because he was acting like one of the people that Gilbert shot. He went, and Swaggy P fell out. He fell out from a fake bullet. He got suspended from a fake bullet. So this looks like it may lead to suspension because you already have a reputation of this. If you didn't have a reputation of this, you may get off with a warning, but you do not want to get suspended at this particular moment. Like I was just talking about this previous question, this game had big playoff implications. You're fighting for the fifth and the sixth seed, the fifth and the sixth seed, with Minnesota right in the seventh seed. You don't want to get bumped to the seventh seed and be in the play-in. And then you have to, and eventually maybe miss the playoffs. So I think this was really, really not necessary at this particular time. I want to see Ja Morant play in the playoffs. And yeah, we don't know where this is going to lead to after the NBA season. Now he didn't have a pistol. You saying he had the shotty, AK,
Yeah.
SK?
Yeah,
he
now,
had two hands.
yeah, now
or he had two guns.
And all the Warriors on the bench were like,
yeah, they're like, bro, you already been out the league for this.
Exactly. So the point being is this was not a smart move, especially with the seeding on the line. This game actually put the Warriors up a half a game ahead of Memphis in standings right now. That's how serious this game was. And like Mase said, when somebody scored 52 in the same position you play, you have to think about this. You got to think about you're 24, probably 24, 25, maybe your oldest. 36 points, very athletic. You were third team All-NBA, a second team All-NBA before all the bullshit started happening. And the old man came out and kicked your ass tonight. And not only kicked your ass, went ahead of you on the seedings. And then not only went ahead of you on the seedings, had 52 and 10.
Yeah.
Not now. This is not the time. This is not.
He should have did this.
First of all, for Ja, it's never the time. You cannot do this anymore. It's never the time to do this anymore, Ja. You're done with all this. You have to stop. You come to the game when you're not playing in a poo shiesty. We know it's you. You know why? Because you're going to create attention because it's the Pooh Shiesty. As much as I fuck with Ja and I love what Ja's doing, I don't think it's the right people in his ear. And to me, I'm not ever judging because I salute all fathers, whether it's Serena Williams' father, Michael Jackson father, LeVar Ball, and everything else. But sometimes his father looks like he with all this. You know what I'm saying? And you raised a great young man. I seen you guys 30 for 30 at E60 it was. And I was like, yo, this is really, really a great father, a guy who trained his son, had all his son's friends come over, put them through mad drills, so on and so forth. But sometimes, to me, my personal opinion, it seems like T. Morant is living through Ja. You have to realize T. Morant played basketball too. He played basketball with Ray Allen, matter of fact, person I just named in this segment. And he may be living through his son. Because even when the time, you got to think about this, when the Memphis Grizzlies or whoever it was going to have this fallout with Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp was sitting courtside and was about to fight all the Memphis Grizzlies. And T. Morant wasn't really a person to be like, yo, chill out, guys. Yo, this isn't time to do this. Y'all are bugging. He seemed like he was more of a player for the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, don't get me wrong. You want to ride out for your son and your team and everything else, but you're not playing. And you're sitting next to Shannon. That shit could have been, you could have helped diffuse the situation, but you didn't. You excited it. And sometimes I think his father is living through him. If he is, that's great. But you got to tell him when, you bugging. And I'm not saying he doesn't. I just have no idea. I'm just telling you from what is perceived.
Yeah, right now, Ja's focus should be to come in the arena as a not a older man, but he got to show some maturity because they're asking him to lead a franchise and see how we're talking about this over and over. Ja Morant, T Morant, the way we're talking about this is what other people are saying. I wish I had a number or something where I could have called you and told you this, but because we're on the air, I have to share this. So as you have this history and you're doing things like this, it just evoke all the old emotions. It's like a girl seeing a guy go like this that hit her before. You don't get to raise your hand. You got to be a different person. You gotta work on your mannerisms, man. Because you're an amazing basketball player, and you just don't want to lose that opportunity because this is a pattern. If you feel good doing this, then you may think it's good to have the hammer with you once in a while. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we just don't want to see nothing bad happen with you or to you.
Okay, so we have more to discuss about the Grizzlies because they've just had a lot going on in the past couple of weeks. So Jaren Jackson Jr. was asked about the Grizzlies' struggles after losing to the Celtics. So this was before they even lost to the Warriors. They lost to the Celtics 117-103. He said, "We've had wins, we've had losses. Ain't no reason to feel like crazy, like it could always be worse. You could be homeless." So Mase, what's your opinion on his response? And then do you just think they're on a downward spiral, or do you think that there's still some hope there?
This is what I'm talking about. Before you even said that question, you realize this is what I'm talking about. Like as you start going in a direction, it's your words, it's your actions, it's your body language. Like you could just see it. And I'm gonna take the high road, Killer. You handle this. I'm gonna say a prayer for Ja and T Morant because this is an important family to basketball. It's an important family to the culture as well. So I'm definitely gonna do that. Killer, it's on you.
No, John Morant didn't say that. Jared Jackson said that. And basically, just to be clearer, just for the audience that didn't understand, basically he was asked about losing, and to sum it up quickly, he said, "Hey, losing's losing. Look, you can always be homeless." Jared Jackson said that, and when I heard that, I guess he's right technically, but
yeah, I'm saying this is the aura that is giving off,
So, but if you're a Memphis Grizzlies season ticket holder, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear, well, we can always be homeless. And he's right. And I don't want to disrespect the homeless because I don't want to belittle being homeless. But if you're paying a lot of money for tickets to go see your team win, this is not one of the slogans that you want to
Yeah.
hear going into the playoffs. So I don't really have an answer on that because I don't want to act like, yo, fuck out of here. Because homeless is a big deal. It isn't.
But
But at
what
the end of
does
the day,
homeless
they're
have to
paying you
do with
hundreds.
the
We're
game?
paying you hundreds of millions. You know, one second, murder. When they're paying you hundreds of millions of dollars to win. To be honest with you, this goes back to firing their coach right before the playoffs start. They haven't won a game since they fired their coach. And I said this. I said this was a terrible time to do this. From what I was gathering the last day or two, after I told you I had no idea why they would fire their coach, that this was personal, etc., so on and so forth. From what I was understanding, and the information I was given, that the front office didn't like the offense that the coach was running for the Memphis Grizzlies, and they was asking him to change up his offense, so on and so forth, and he wasn't with it. Then they go to some of the players such as Ja Morant, and Ja Morant kind of co-signed it, basically saying, I'm not saying Ja Morant got the coach fired, but he basically like, I don't really dig the offense we're running. Not saying he ain't like the coach. He kind of basically said, I agree with you guys. I'm not digging this offense. And so basically management probably, and that's all the information I got. But from that information I've got, what I'm taking is management went to him and said, we want this offense ran. He said, this is what I'm running. Ja Morant already co-signed with the front office. And they was like, all right, fuck this. Basically, get out of here. We'll wing it through the playoffs and see if our players could lead us to first round win, second round win, a conference finals appearance, and see what happens. But obviously, so far, since they fired their coach, I'm not going to say they're in shambles because I believe this is the third game they lost. But these are the comments you get. You can always be homeless. It's not that bad.
Okay, so tonight the Celtics will play the Heat. Underdog has Jason Tatum at 26.5 points, given that they beat the Grizzlies. Mase, what do you have them at? Higher or lower?
I got him higher.
Okay.
Jason Tatum. We got to do Jason Tatum higher.
Okay.
I would say higher, but I think Jason Tatum's coming off injury. They're going to work him back into the system. I know the playoffs are coming, so I believe his minutes will be limited, and I think he'll be lower. But I think he'll be ready for the playoffs, but I think his minutes are going to be limited tonight, so I'm going to go lower.
Okay. Derek White is at 4.5 rebounds. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
I'm going to go higher.
Yeah, higher.
Okay. And Tyler Hero's at 5.5 first quarter points. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Higher. That's Tyler Hero, right?
Yes, sir.
Kentucky. Yeah. Blue chipper. Definitely got to give more than 5.
Yeah, I've been watching the Heat the last few games, and it's looking like Tyler Hero has finally stepped into the role to realize this has to be his team for him to win. He's been playing pretty good. I'm going to give him the 5.5 points higher as well.
Okay. Make sure you'll download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. So this was a real crazy game. In double overtime, the Timberwolves and Nuggets, they had a game. The Timberwolves won by 1 point, 140 to 139. Jokic had a career high of 61 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, but it wasn't enough. And I'm not even going to put the blame on him. Before we talk,
61. Say that again.
Points. A 61-point triple. Like, that's crazy. So, given that, before we even just get into the details of the game, let's talk about Jokic. Mase, is this enough to give him that MVP case, or are we still leaning towards SGA?
This is what I'm trying to say. Though we like SGA, a 61-point triple-double. I mean, and you lose by 1 to a team that's a really good team. I don't know what to say, man. I want I want SGA to get it, but every time Joker get on the court, it makes me feel like he might not get it. This is profound, man. I think we're watching something supernatural, man. I think I seen a lot of big men, but I might go on the record, Killer, and say we might be looking at the best big man we've ever seen. Ever seen. I know Shaq was dominant. I watched it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this might be the first dethroning of our era. This might be the first legitimate one. Like what you gonna say is he's dominant and he's boogieing on niggas. He's getting assists out of nowhere, getting all the rebounds he wants.
Let me come correct, 11 rebounds, not 10, because they going to get at me.
Okay, 11 rebounds. How many assists?
10.
And 10 assists, man. And he's playing point guard at 7'2", 7 what? Whatever it is more than 7 feet. This is profound. This is profound. This may be the best big man we've ever seen in the NBA. That's a great point to make. And debate me on it. I don't care. I know people be like, "Yo, Mase, where do you be getting these thoughts from?" They be hitting you with that, Killer, right? Where you get these thoughts from?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm telling you what I'm looking at. I'm from a Titletown view. This might be the best big man I ever seen.
Yeah, listen, as far as the question stat for being MVP this season, me personally, if I had a vote, I would vote for the Joker. The reason why I don't think the Joker is going to get it is because how dominant OKC is in the West. We know how strong the West is coming into the season. And OKC has been dominant from beginning to end, even losing Chet for a plethora of games, a long stretch of games. They still were dominant, and it's not even close on their dominance. And SGA is having a career season as well, as with the dominance, clear cut, unstoppable. Mid-range game, hitting open three, finishing at the basket. Look, and not only that, OKC defense has been elite this season. But what the Joker is doing is just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And to Mace's point, it would be hard to argue. I don't like comparing generations. We had this conversation. But to Mace's point, it's kind of hard. Only reason I wouldn't compare the Joker to any other big man is just because different rules and so on and so forth. But what he's doing is a hard argument for what Mace just said. It's really hard, but it's just different errors, different rules to, what would Shaq be doing if niggas can't hand check or you can't push him out the way or whatever? The problem is Shaq couldn't hit free throws. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. The hacker Shaq came in and you had to take him out through stretches of games because he couldn't hit free throws. Joker could hit free throws. When you think of dominant big men, I think of Shaq when it comes to domination of big men. Akeem Olajuwon, Akeem Olajuwon, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, David Robinson. Everybody we're naming could score, but could they hit the open three? Are they having triple doubles? I haven't checked in about the last week and a half, but 2 weeks. But the last time I checked, Joker is top 5 and top 3. Let's get it top 3 in scoring, assists, and rebounding. And like I said, this is 2 weeks ago. I haven't done my due diligence, couple weeks, people, so don't get erratic. But the stat that stood out to me was he's 4th in steals. I always thought steals was like a guard stat. Like the top 5 players in steals should be guards, from what I'm thinking. So he's not slacking on defense. If he's top 5 in steals, he's 4th in steals 2 weeks ago. It's just amazing to watch. I'm glad I get a chance to watch it. But also what we have to think about is he has 3 MVPs, possibly should have been 4 already. And I don't think they want their legends, the NBA I'm talking about, some of them to be surpassed. You think about LeBron with 4 MVPs. and then it just stopped. It's years and years that LeBron should have won MVP and didn't get MVP. He just stopped at 4 all of a sudden. Because you think about Michael Jordan with 5. You think about certain players. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know if Oscar Robertson, a couple of older players that Michael Jordan have 5 or 6. And they're like, to me, my personal opinion, and be like, nah, we can't let them. We got to have niggas go in the archives for something. You don't want to not go in the archives and do the homework on something. You know what I'm saying? So to me, the Joker has a chance to catch up to all these people because statistically, this season he's having now, and this is a fact, all his stats are better than the year he won MVP. So the years he won MVP, his stats didn't even look as good as they're looking this year. How don't you give him the MVP if he has better stats than the years he won? I would only say because OKC's been dominant and SGA been leading the way. But if the Joker did get the MVP, I wouldn't be mad because he definitely has my vote. I just think that somebody wants people, not only people, the NBA, and what we're seeing with SGA got going on, it can't be sneezed at either. But I'm going to be honest, if I had a vote, it'd be the Joker.
Okay, so now we got to talk about this sequence, which ultimately led to the Timberwolves winning the game because it's pretty bad, okay? All eyes right now are on Russell Westbrook. So basically, as we saw, the Timberwolves had possession of the ball. Russell Westbrook steals the ball. He goes up. He misses the layup, right? So then the Timberwolves have possession again. Westbrook tries to go back on D. He tries to block, the three-point attempt, but he fouls. So that, ends up with the Timberwolves basically shooting the 2 and then winning. So after seeing that, I don't want to say it's on Westbrook, but I think we can all ultimately say it's on Westbrook. How do you feel about that performance coming from him? And then basically that ultimately being, even though it was a good game, that being the end, Mase.
Why would you even stat? You throw people under the bus and then ask the question like you want to ask it a different way.
And I can't ask it any other way. We all seen the clip. We saw the game. When we see it, it's just like, nah, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So Mase, what's the problem?
Yeah, it's like, what? We had the ball. This nigga took the ball and missed the layup. And then he come back, foul somebody from 3-point range. And then what else did he do after that?
He couldn't do nothing after that. Then Timberwolves, they shot.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's just, it's not only did he miss the layup, he fouled somebody for the jump shot. I mean, this is just like a bad night for Russell Westbrook. Future Hall of Famer, great guy, great, how could I say it? Probably great family man. I don't know, but this is just a dumb decision. I hate when he's in these positions because it kind of overshadows all the great things that he's done. Because I'm expecting him to go to Denver, make the difference, help us get to the Western Conference Final, and to win it all. Because you see, I'm wearing the Denver blue glasses, killer. The title must come back home, man. Niggas had their run, man. I hope ain't nobody thinking nothing different, man. Feeling no different way about this. But that's what I think when it comes to Russell Westbrook. He gotta get his mind together and make sure he don't do this again, because this is I don't want this to feel like LA.
Listen, outside of Russell Westbrook, I leave that guy up to you guys. To me, it's more about what the Timberwolves have been doing than the Nuggets the last year or two. We seen the Denver Nuggets win the championship the year before last and say, oh, they might be on a run. This might be it. We seen the dominance of the Joker. Actually, me and Mase got a chance that year to go see them play against the Phoenix Suns live, and we witnessed the Joker's dominance, and we were like, wow, this is going to be crazy. Jamal Murray was crazy. Like I said, they got rid of some key pieces that were a part of that championship team with Caldwell Pope and Bruce Brown. And right now is going to show that those were very big pieces that were missing because they haven't been the same since, as far as getting over the hump with the Minnesota Timberwolves. These niggas got Denver number. And for what reason, I don't know why. The first quarter, when I watched this game, I said, okay, Denver got these niggas tonight. They were up 21-5 in the first quarter, 23-5. And I said, listen, if these niggas make a run and come back from 18, that means they're not focused. Now, I know in the NBA these days, 10, 11, 12-point leads aren't big deals. But you got to sustain that lead when you're dealing with a team that always has your number. For them to come back and win this game is something more going on than just Russell Westbrook. It's the minute, because Russell Westbrook wasn't there last year. You got to think about it as well. Minnesota was up last year on Denver. I was saying that, look, maybe it's just too much because you had Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert before Karl Anthony Towns went to the Knicks. I said, oh, maybe they figured it out where you have to have 2 7-footers on the Joker to be effective. But Karl Anthony Towns isn't there. And obviously, Rudy Gobert or nobody else could do nothing with the Joker having 61, 10, and 10, or 11 and 10, which is fucking outrageous. But it's more about what does the Timberwolves have over the Nuggets the last 2 years. It's something in the air, and hopefully for, well, not hopefully, wishful thinking for the Denver Nuggets. I think that they can compete with a few teams in the West, but for some reason, I would not want to run into the Minnesota Timberwolves because those guys know what's going on and half these guys know.
So,
yeah, it's starting to seem like ever since Randall got back that they're balling. I mean, that's definitely what it's starting to look like, because at first I was like, is this a good trade? And we know Devin, how you say his name? DiVincenzo was out. Yeah, he was out this game. So definitely for them to beat them without him says a lot as well, because he wasn't even on the floor. It just seems like Randall give them a lot more athleticism when it comes to their front court. And it seemed like that's going to cause a great problem for Denver if they don't figure that out.
So, to both of you guys' points, just out of curiosity, because we're always talking about trust.
Mm-hmm.
Do you trust the Timberwolves, Mase, or no?
I trust Antman. I definitely trust Antman. The way he's played as of recent, and definitely, there's a great trust there. It seemed like he gets it when it comes to basketball. But when as a team, I don't know if I'm ready to say that just yet. Not on that championship level. Do I trust them to get to the playoffs? Yeah, I trust them to get to the playoffs. So what kind of level of trust you talking about?
It's up to you.
Trust to the playoffs, trust to the second
say
round,
both.
Trust the third.
Yeah.
I mean, the Western Conference.
Yeah. But you're saying win it all, no.
No.
Okay.
Win it all, I don't trust. You can hold me to that.
Okay. Cam, what are your thoughts?
Look, I think that Minnesota took a little while to figure this out, my personal opinion. Everybody wants success. You know, Minnesota didn't play good a lot this year, but they didn't have a bunch of players. To Mace's point, when Julius Randle was out, they wasn't doing good, but he was hurt. When he came back, they went on a tear.
Yeah.
You got to take time to let these players get to know each other. And it took a little longer than later. As far as them winning the Western Conference Final, I don't know about that. Definitely get to the playoffs. And they picked a great time of the year to play good together, a spectacular time. This is a great time to get it together. But I'm not sure how far they could go against other teams because, like I said, matchups, it's like boxing. Certain matchups, depending on who it is, one person can beat another person but lose to this person. And when Minnesota plays as good as they look against Denver, they look just as bad against OKC. So when they play OKC, if they got to run to OKC, no, I don't think that they will do good against OKC. It depends on who they get in the playoffs, and that matters to me. But as far as them going far, I'm not sure. Look, they got a great chemistry with Naz Reid and Anthony Edwards, and it seems like what Mase just said, Julius Randle will come around. DiVincenzo, they fighting for each other, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, it may take another year for them to get where they want to go, but I'm not even sure about that. We have to see. The Western Conference is like up for grabs every year. Look at the Lakers. I had no idea that the Lakers would be in the position where they at this year. I thought they would be a playing team, minimal. But it's looking like they're going to be solidified to be guaranteed in the playoffs. It just depends on who they play. Only people, like I said, this year in the Western Conference is OKC because they're head and shoulders above everybody else. Even Houston. Houston was second for a long time. I know they're back in second, but they plummeted for a minute. Then they worked their way back to second. And they picked a good time to be looking good again. It's OKC for me, and I have to see what happens with everybody else.
Okay. Do the Cowboys got some off-season troubles? We'll discuss after the break.
Oh, my goodness. What happened to them now?
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. I'm stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about she wanna be free.
Welcome back. So the Cowboys are having a little bit of trouble after Jerry Jones made some comments about Micah Parsons' agent, David Mulugeta. He said, the agent is not a concern here. I don't know his name. He also explained that he spent 5-6 hours with Micah Parsons and they had a lot of discussions. He said most of the issues were in agreement on and they discussed it all, but we obviously don't have an agreement relative to a new contract. Then he proceeded to say, it's not uncommon for me to visit directly with players. And in this particular case, it's what I'm doing. So Micah basically responded on X saying, you know, David being his agent, he's the best and he will not be doing any deal without David Mulugeta involved. So kind of hearing this disconnect with Micah Parsons responding on X, but then Jerry Jones saying, I only speak to the players direct. How do you think this process is going? And what do you kind of think of that from both of them, both perspectives, Mase?
I gotta start from Jerry Jones' perspective. He's probably thinking, this is the way I've always done it. Is that it haven't been broken in 40 something years. I've been able to establish this great franchise and do all of these wonderful things, build all of these wonderful arenas. I don't have a problem with paying my team and the players that come to play for the Dallas Cowboys. So he probably feels like that's the way he's always done it. But when it turns into how a young person wanted to do his business, then that's somebody's gonna have to bend, pause, because it's not gonna end up being both people's way. And I think if it comes down to Michael Parsons or Jerry Jones, we already know who's gonna win that match. And I'll just leave it at that. It will make no sense. You're wasting time. If you want the money, then speak to Jerry Jones, man.
Okay, Cam.
First off, a couple things I want to say. As much props as I always give my motherfucking brother because they well deserved. You know what I'm saying? My brother. When I say my brother, working from home, y'all, pardon me. When I say my brother, I'm talking about my brother Rich Paul. And when I say that, it's because I watched him grow to where he's at currently right now in professional sports, period. But I want to give David some credit. Pardon me. The reason I want to give David some credit, first of all, he a black nigga out here killing. Let's start there. I got to give black niggas out here killing their credit. He has 42 NFL players. You know, you go from Jalen Ramsey, you can sit there and say Jordan Love, but you know who he represents, Murder?
I'm listening.
More than anybody?
Mahomes.
Deshaun Watson.
Oh, he got the money.
230 million guaranteed. Never been done before. So we got to give him his props.
Yeah, you're right.
You're not going to turn We're not going to turn into a Micah Parsons situation. For me, and I'm not comparing it to America for y'all getting to heroics.
Yeah.
As much as you rooted it for O.J. Simpson during that trial, you was rooting for Johnny Cochran too. A black nigga was taking care of business. I got to give him his fucking credit. That's first and foremost. He know how to get this money. So that's first. Secondly, Micah Parsons is brilliant to say he's not motherfucking going to negotiate without him. Of course you're not negotiating without a nigga who got 42 players. Not only 42 players, go and get the money. Jerry Jones ain't been winning. He been losing on these negotiations. You had to pay Dak, right? Dak 60. You had to pay CD Lamb. Then somebody definitely got it from him because he's that good. He's that good. And Jerry, you can't risk losing him. They know that. Micah Parsons could actually be argued with CD Lamb, I'll say, to be the best player on the Cowboys. Even though one plays offensive, play defense. Now, we know he's the best defensive player on the Cowboys, but he may be the best Cowboy. Jerry Jones, talk that shit all you want. You're going to give that money up, or Micah Parsons won't be there, and David, do your damn thing.
And that's on that. And even to your point, so his agent was the first in NFL history to negotiate over $1 billion in contracts in 1 year. And of course, to all the names that Cam said, like, that's a lot of money. So I would trust him too. And then also notably saying that puts the trust between them. So it's looking like Jerry Jones is going to have to go through him to figure it out. I respect it.
Jerry Jones, listen, I dig this. Jerry Jones did this a few years ago with a few different players at the particular time. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank with that running back who just left this year because he used to be. What's the nigga name?
Zeke.
Yeah, the nigga Ezekiel Elliott. You know, that's how bad Ezekiel Elliott fell off. He was a household name. And he's gone. But Jerry Jones, when these agents come in, he feels a way like, yo, y'all niggas don't know what y'all doing, especially when they good agents, because they like, who the fuck is you to come in here demanding this? And that's when niggas be like, yo, Jerry, it's a new sheriff in town, man, and he's black. You want to holler? You don't. You're not going to. What do you think? No disrespect. And, you know, this kind of what not kind of, this definitely what athletes do. It's just that people like Mase and myself, we've been through the hell and the fire where we had management. We'd be like, no, I'm good. I'll talk for myself. But I know how to talk for myself. I don't really need you saying too much for me. But if you're Micah Parsons and you have somebody with your agent's reputation, now talk to this nigga because this nigga gets it and he knows what you're worth.
Right. Okay. So also, we said that he also represents Deshaun Watson. Well, Browns owner Jimmy Haslam spoke on the team's trade for Deshaun Watson. He said, we took a big swing and missed with Deshaun. We thought we had the quarterback. We didn't, and we gave up a lot of draft picks to get him. So we've got to dig ourselves out of that hole. It was an entire organization decision, and it ends with D&I. So I hold us accountable. Pretty interesting choice of words to admit to the public about your quarterback. Mase, what do you think about him saying that out loud?
Killer, you go ahead. You start this conversation off. Because this is crazy.
I mean, look, let's think about it, man. What else was he supposed to say? That's a nigga fessing up to spending all this money. Because you got to think about this. You know what's crazy? I actually randomly, some type of way, been in the owners, and when they have these meetings, so what's going on now is the owners meetings where they're changing the rules for the NFL, deciding what's going to work, what's not going to work, talking about what happened off season, talking about what happened and what's going to happen next season, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what's crazy? I actually stumbled into one of these owner retreats. I was in Scottsdale, Arizona. Seriously, and this is probably about 5-6 years ago. I don't know where they're holding it today, but I was just on vacation in Scottsdale, and I'm like, what the fuck is motherfucking Brett Favre, whoever it was. There's a bunch of NFL niggas walking around and coaches and so on. I just happened to be staying at the same resort. And, you know, for a nigga like me, I don't really like bumping into niggas, NFL or not. Or, you know, if I bump into Jerry Jones, we gonna have a convo. James Dolan, I speak to the owners because I'm trying to get to the 7, 8, 9 billion them niggas got. Anybody else, I really don't necessarily want to talk to. It's cool. But I actually bumped into them and everybody's there. So I don't know where they're holding it anymore, but it was a time where they held it in Scottsdale, Arizona. And it's everybody there. So the owners have to be there as well. So when you're getting there, when you're there and you're in this facility where owners don't necessarily talk all the time to media. You know, we get Jerry Jones week after week after week because he's the cowboy, he gets to the media talk. But you don't talk to these owners all the time. And this is the one time a year that you definitely could get the owners to talk to media because it's part of what they do this time of year. So for the Cleveland Browns owner to say this, what else would he say? You know what I'm saying? You want to be like, nah, it's all good. Da, 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 da. He's a billionaire. I'm not saying that he pisses and shits 230 million, but he getting chicken. He like, I fucked up 230. I'd be all right though. That was how I took it. If you're a nigga, if you're in nigga circles and you get money, and then I get money to that much. Let's just say, let's use another example, right? Let's use an example that's more relatable. You got 20 million and you fuck up 230,000. You like, nigga, fuck 230 up, nigga. I get it back and be all right. That's not bad for him because he's getting it. Now, nobody wants to fuck up that type of money. But to me, it was more saying, what else do you want me to say? We all see it unraveling before our eyes. Now, so we make a lot of jokes with Deshaun Watson up here. Some of them aren't jokes. Some of them are serious because of the allegations, so on and so forth that he went through. But let's be serious, yo. When Deshaun Watson played for the Texans, the last time he played, who led the league in yardage? It was Deshaun Watson, not Patrick Mahomes. It was him. He led the league in passing yardage. It was times where TJ Watt, who was the number one rusher for years, said, apologized to Deshaun Watson publicly and was like, yo, bro, I'm sorry we're not doing what we're supposed to do. We wasting years of your life, years of your career. Deshaun Watson was the greatest thing to slice bread. It's just been such a downward spiral since 2022 with the hand job allegations, him not playing well, and QBR is fucking fourth lowest in the league. 19 games, 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. It just doesn't look good since he's been there. Not only that, he hasn't been playing. He hasn't played a lot of games because of injury. But if you're an owner and you're investing in somebody and you see what he was just doing previous to you getting there and you know that the market is going to be high for quarterbacks, it wasn't a bad investment at the time. Now, did it turn out to be a bad investment? So far, yeah. I don't know what miracle is going to happen out of this situation. It doesn't look good. But at the time, Deshaun Watson was right underneath Patrick Mahomes, right there. And it just spiraled out of control. So the owner, to me, he shrugged it off like, yo, we gave up some draft picks. We dug ourselves in a hole. We got to dig ourselves out. Be all right. He ain't say he was fucked up. He ain't say life was about to be over. He keeping it moving.
You don't feel any type of way about it anymore. I don't know. I just feel like I totally get your point, Cam, and I totally get where the owner's coming from. I still just feel like you shouldn't say that. I would have just kept that in the drafts, locked up the key, thrown away the key, and kept it pushing because I could see maybe if like they moved on or had like a different solution. Like y'all have Deshaun Watson and y'all have Kenny Pickett and you're owning up to making a mistake, but I don't think that helps anything. Like unless you're giving me some sort of something to look forward to or a promise or a this is why we're eager to pick second in this draft, then you can say those type of things. I just don't feel like that helps with anything, and that definitely doesn't instill confidence in your quarterback. Because for me personally, I'm feeling some type of way if I'm playing, and the owner said that about me. So I don't know. I just felt like that wasn't necessary. But
yeah, I'm gonna be honest, that because that's your generation. That's the sensitive shit y'all niggas be on. If niggas said that, that's for real. This is sensitivity class, and we need to be healing and all that shit. That's you. If a nigga pay me that and I ain't do that, I'm like, all right, watch. I just told niggas this on another segment. All right, watch. Bet. That's how you feel? Watch. I'll make you come back with 400 million, nigga, playing with my name like that. But nah, I get it. We're healing. It's sensitive. And I don't feel like we should have said that. The nigga paid $230. We just talked about this the other day. How long you supposed to wait? What we talking about? Paul George murder? One of these niggas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You invest that much
The money that high, you ain't got time to be waiting.
Yeah. You want to pay a nigga $230 and be like, well, I'm really eager to get in the draft and see what we can. Nah, pay $230. I paid $230 and ain't turn out right. Nah.
Yeah.
Eat that up, man. Eat that not sensitivity class and all that for $230. It's not sensitivity time. I fucked it up. Come on, B. Now it's on Deshaun Watson to be like, yo, all right, niggas playing with my name. I know exactly what I got to do. That's on him now. Because you know why? His $230 is guaranteed. It ain't even like, you can sit there and don't like the owner and don't fuck with him. You are the first person at that particular time to have a contract of $230 million guaranteed. That means while he's hurt, he's getting paid. That means when he's on the sideline, he's getting paid. When he's getting his quote-unquote hand jobs, he's getting paid. He gets paid. The owner's lost that. He's allowed to say something big. For me, I get what you saying, Stat, because I know where we're at.
Yeah, Stat want everybody to be
me, I'm not with healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not healing for $230. I got to say what I got to say.
Yeah, for $230, they definitely feel like they got robbed. So for him to say this is actually just motivation, you know. But you got to think about it. This is going to really prove who Deshaun Watson wants to be, because when your money is guaranteed, you could just say, oh, well, and just get your money. Or you can say, you know what? These people did give me almost a quarter of $1 billion. I could show up. I can't still be saying it's my feelings killer. At a $250 million, it's still about your feelings. It's crazy.
I don't know if y'all have ever been told this, just before we wrap. If you guys were offered to like coach like the All-Star game, would y'all do it? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Cam, would you?
Me and Killer be like Ford and Coach Rich.
That just gave like.
Nah, because I'm going to be honest. Niggas, you know why? Because I can see me trying to be cool, coach, and cordial, but my face ain't going to lie. When the camera zoom in and catch my facial expression, like, I ain't getting invited back. I would do it, but they niggas ain't going to like it. It's not, I can see, because you know why? This is one of them situations where we coaching and Giannis is 0 for 8 and we don't put him back into the second half.
Yeah.
So we have a convo. Niggas like, yo, we ain't here for all that.
He said he ain't putting Giannis into the second half.
Yeah, you sit there and you think about your actions.
You sit there and think about it.
I can see
that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got to see y'all coach, because that right there, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta see it. I can see me explaining it to the parents. You know, because everybody, you know, the parents always believe their kids should be in the game. That was one of the hardest things for me to tell kids that play the AU.
In fact, tell them
your son
truth.
should not be in the game, for real. He should not.
Oh, Lord. That's the hard realization. But sometimes people need to be told the truth. Sometimes I need to be told the truth. And y'all tell me every day. So, hey, I want to see y'all coach.
You buying him sneakers, buy him some game. He need game to be in the game.
It's the truth, y'all. Oh, Lord. Well, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.